It's a support
I
thing.
don't get it.
It's a support thing.
That should be the high stress spot. Maybe that's why they succeed.
You have to be very zen if you want to be able to get that support role, because you realize you're going to get all the blame and none of the praise. So that's the way you got to think about it. As we head into picks and bans right now, bring us the P's and B's.
Yeah. BP Oil sponsored.
Stop.
I know. Team SoloMid here. It is now going to see them on the order side of things. They had the counter pick in the last match, and it definitely benefited them a bit, but I mean, there's no way Enemy Esports was expecting the Xbalanque.
Yeah, no, I mean, definitely we're not expecting the Xbalanque. That's one of the benefits of having those pocket picks. You never know what you could use it against. This time around, Athena didn't really punish them too much, but Team SoloMid still opts to ban it out.
They even banned out the Geb. So this means Team SoloMid can go ahead and grab Serqet, give it to Gars, and say, well, option over to you, Enemy Esports. But, I mean, Gars, he also has Hunbats available, and they're going to first pick the Neith.
This is something that I mentioned a while ago. I think that Neith is very strong, and I question her first pick ability. With that said, we had Nantan come out and respond to me. He's a player for High Five Challenger Cup team, and he said that the god itself might not be the strongest, but the ambiguity that Neith provides, we mentioned it before, solo, hunter, mid, all those are viable. The ambiguity that Neith provides gives her first pick ability, not because of the god, but because of the question marks that provides to the enemy team.
Yep. Well, Sobek's in a little bit of a similar spot here, but when you see Matty Pocket, you just expect that Matty Pocket will be playing the Sobek. He's world-renowned at it. Medusa gets picked up again. Team SoloMid is going to draft a Ymir. Ooh. That is not a mistake on the UI here. I don't think I've ever seen them play a Ymir. It's
definitely not a god that Gars plays a lot. Gars is more known for those straight assassin-oriented gods. Just kill you real quick, which, to be fair, Ymir is for the first couple of minutes. Then he sort of transitions into more of a warrior-type player.
The baller!
So it really depends on, we'll see where this goes. I wouldn't be surprised to see this in the jungle, solo, or in the middle lane.
Well, Xbalanque, he's going to get picked up here. The late-game hyper carry, the hyperest of carries there is. I mean, he can swing very hard. Thor gets banned out, as well as the Bacchus. Surprised they actually banned that out here. I guess it's just because Divios doesn't want to go into a bad matchup here, but I mean, it's kind of a question mark. Is Ionic going to be running this Ymir? And then across the way, Enemy Esports will be giving Soulshiner Serqet.
Okay.
So that'll help Serqet it'll help the entire team kind of get Xbalanque to that point where he's just hitting everyone and destroying. So now Team SoloMid, they got to round out two spots here, and that's going to be the Hades. So Ymir, oh no, they're not.
I absolutely love this team.
Get out of here!
I love this team.
Oh my god.
My ideal situation is to have Najah in the solo lane, Ymir in the jungle, and Hades in the mid lane. I do know that Boosh can play the Hades. That said, Hades is a god that we associate with Divio. So on the bottom side of things for Team SoloMid, ambiguity across the board. Medusa and Neith have to be in a lane, but other than that, all of these gods can go anywhere. Medusa, Neith, and Hades have to be in a lane.
I got a feeling that we're going to just see Gars on Najah, but I want to see Ionic run it, bro. The Najah support that you always see.
It's happened.
You always see it in ranked games, man.
Ionic has played Najah support. He does like it. It's an interesting pick. We'll talk a little about it if that goes into the game. That said, looking at Enemy Esports, I do want to talk about their team comp real quick. Late game.
Yeah.
And that's a lot of my analysis. Xbalanque and Serqet, they're going to want to kill you later. Bacchus is going to help them kill you later. Janus is going to kill you later. So they have to play a big stall game here. And Sobek will be a big part of that, Scott. They want to control. They want to use portals to get you away from them rather than go for it. And then once you hit that mid to late game, Deathbringers start to come online. Watch out. Enemies looking to chunk you out of the screen.
I'm very surprised to see these teams in North America not kind of figure out what Team SoloMid's weakness is, which is they hate being invaded, they hate the early game aggression, and they just, that's why AFK goes so strong against them, like Thanatos, right? Yeah. Like, he stops them from picking Thor.
Very true.
And we just never see other teams kind of force their will on Team SoloMid like that.
So, we're going to take a look at Team SoloMid, and speaking of forcing their will, they just sort of force their own will against Enemy Esports. They're just going to pick what they want. You are going to see Gars in the jungle as Najah. This is the sort of standard spot where you expect to see Najah. Not exactly a high priority pick or a high frequency pick.
No way!
That's scary.
Dude, he's stopping this back. If I was playing against Gars right now, I would be screaming. I'd be so mad. There is nothing worse than that. And then he gets the guaranteed damage because of the ring bounce.
Yeah, so this is it's an interesting pick for Gars. Last time we saw Devios play Hades, well, he demolished. He's one of the few players that can actually pull off Hades. Adonis is actually his analysis is that it's because he lands a lot of the basics. But watch out, here's something going against the basics. Team SoloMid going for an invade.
Well, you're gonna see Yannick just kind of walk straight up here. He's gonna have the help, and they're just gonna wait to burn this down.
There's
Hasn't taken a point now.
Here.
And he's got the stun first here. Yannick, he's going to get caught up. And just like that, they're able to get first blood going to Jerby, who's on Janus. And that's
10 points to enemy esports.
Yeah.
10 points to enemy esports. They saw that the invade was coming along, so they brought 4 members onto the left side of the screen. What that allowed them to do, you don't have to know Smite. 4 is bigger than 3, and that's going to kill you at level 1. Great play by enemy.
I would love to go ahead and check out Ymir to see what he started off with. I think he was forced in the Frost Breath. And he was forced into his stun, and he didn't use it in that fight at all.
Yeah, so I just wasn't able to get that one off just yet. So unfortunately, that's gonna be a little bit rough. Gars already level 3 though, despite the first blood going the way of the red team. One of the things you're gonna see out of Naja, very, very fast. He'll be able to travel the jungle very quickly because of the ability Universe Ring Toss actually gives him movement speed.
Yep. The stun comes out here from Yannick. He's desperately trying to get to level 2. And now, Naja, the strength of Naja is also easily countered as well. If enemy esports, enemy esports needs to stay in parity with Team SoloMid so they can get Magi's blessings.
Yes.
If they fall behind and they can't get the Magi's blessings, Gars is going to destroy them. But Soulshiner has rotated over here. And now they know something's afoot. There is 4 people trying to push down. They know this purple buff's there, and Gars is single-handedly stopping them from doing this. And Snoopy will fall through the portal, and he will be able to lacerate himself out of that one.
Jeremy is here. That said, Neith has made the rotation as well. Soulshiner poked down to about half HP, defending the purple buff. It is down. I think it's down to enemy, but Soulshiner very, very low. Has to be careful not to give it away. Jeremy with a turnaround, unstable vortex, able to nick the Gars, but not hit him with 2 balls.
Yeah. Dude, I mean, Jerby, all things considered, man, he's played today. The Kraken last game was great. He's been hitting huge portals where, he got him locked up there. And the stun, there's no follow-up there. And he just now got level 5. So Gars, he does have kill potential now. Yeah, if he locks someone up, it's curtains.
This is the scary part for Naja. Naja, if you guys are unfamiliar with the character, basically he's got that lash, the range stun that brings him towards you, and then he's got a dash where if he hits you, you go in the air and you take far too much damage due to it's critical base. So expect to see a Deathbringer come online for Gars.
Dude, VDM actually rotated over here as well. Soulshiner now is forced out as now the poison darts are going to hit as well. Matty Pocket was able to secure this, and now he will be able to jump over. Darkest of Nights comes out. They're going to stop this fight from happening, and they are able to come out a little bit on top as Team SoloMid will just be limited to the right.
I love that adjustment, Scott. How many mid-camps did enemy esports get last game?
0.
So the adjustment is we're going to make sure we split these mid camps. We bring the hunter out of the long lane. Don't care. Make the rotation. We need those mids. Great adjustment and adaptation coming out from the red team. I love to see that when teams make changes from game 1 to game 2.
Well, it is a Hades versus a Sobek here, and Devios is going to channel the ultimate. He sees that he's low on health as well. The Blight's going to be on him as well. And he doesn't hit. He always hits these auto attacks. And when I asked him about it, he said, well, they're like the size of balloons, so you have to try to miss them. And obviously they're not. It's just visually it's easier.
Yeah, I mean, and a large part of that, it's not just about the damage that the basic attacks do. It applies the passive Blight, which allows Hades to do all sorts of extra things with his abilities. There's a fear attached to the silence, etc. So that economy of hitting those basics along with the abilities is huge to get the maximum potential out of the character.
I'm not sure if it's still the case, but for the longest time, Hades has had the largest win rate out of anyone in Smite. like across like the casual scene. Just I mean, obviously, right? Like when you first start and you go against someone who's playing Hades, you're like, oh, I can stay in this creep wave. Oh, what is this?
Explosion. It used to be even bigger. The explosion was incredible. Gar's taking out his speed buff. He's going to get sniffed on by Soulshiner.
He missed everything.
Both taunts. And 1, 2, 3. That's all it takes to get to the center of that Tootsie Pop. Gars evens up the kills and gets the first one for his team.
He's also got a Crocodile, and Divios is body blocking him there, and Gars is going all the way around here. He's got it. I mean, they can really just go for this if they really want to. I mean, that's a blue buff given to them. Yeah. And Divios is very excited about this. The Hand of the Gods was used as well. No one can rotate from enemy esports, and just like that, Team SoloMid has control of the jungle.
That's confidence. Gars used the Hand of the Gods in the beginning of the fight rather than the end to secure the kill because he knew no one was going to be able to rotate.
Whoa, Soulshiner's going to get caught here. He's in a lot of trouble. He's going to try to dash out of this one, and he will. As Jerby will hit a portal, and then he will run straight into a wall. Through space and time will save him, though. Jerby with the hot plays. And now Awesome to the Max is in the middle of a Team SoloMid, just kind of collapsing here.
Enemy Esports just got so... they picked intelligently to get gods with good escapes. I don't like to call players lucky. And to be fair, Soulshiner and Janus were calculated escapes. Also the max, charge spray came out.
Yep. And now you'll see the acid spray come out here from the Serqet, from the Medusa, cleaning up the first wave, and the archers as well. Heartseeker has been finished across the way again. Vedium going with the dev gloves here. Now, really, I mean, Xbalanque needs to win a boxing match as soon as Medusa gets full power, but it's going to be hard. The ultimate already forced out. No one's going to get hurt by it. Naja comes in. Beads forced out. Intoxicate will be there from Matty Pocket. The stun will follow. He's got Belly Flop coming on cooldown, and he's not able to get it off as the Booch is able to clean him up. Soulshiner now pushes in right into an unstable vortex. Great job by Jerby, but the portal, it's now up to the Booch, and he will survive. As the threshold comes down, unstable vortex through the wall. Does he have it just off the mark?
I love to see what Matty Pocket did there. He hit the ult, and there was just no response. Jerby sat dancing in that corridor from the jungle to the mid lane. We saw what happened when he got involved. Soulshiner is going to jump away, but Divios gets the solo kill. Guardian on Guardian.
He dove hard body for that.
Behind the tower.
I mean, wow. I mean...
I wanted to see Jerby get involved in that fight a little bit sooner. He got the kill when he went in.
Yeah.
And with Matty Pocket taking about 40% HP away from all three of those people he hit with Intoxicate, that was unstable vortex heaven. Unfortunately, Jerby only able to get one, and that evened it up, but then Divios brought his team a little bit ahead. 3-2 read the kills as we approach 7.5 minutes.
Team SoloMid. They're in the driver's seat. It's a very small lead, but it's a lead nonetheless. We've yet to see a Gold Fury get started or even looked at 7 minutes and 45 seconds. So really, the next big mark here, unless someone gets a pick, it's going to be around 9:30 when the third set of Harpies will be coming up. And that's when we should see stuff start to spring open.
This lane is actually really funny. Watching Vicium with the poke from those branching bolas and then the poke from Medusa. Watch this as he'll be able to hit the acid spray. There's no way to avoid that. Everyone gets hit. We'll visit Garth in the middle lane. But there's no way to avoid that acid spray. So there's no way to avoid the branching bolas, no way to avoid the acid spray, and no way to avoid that. Naja really started to get chunky. Level 10 already. 2 kills to his namesake. He's going to build into the Jotuns, which will allow him to do it more often, and then the Deathbringer, which will hurt more.
Dude, that is very scary. I am surprised he was able to just crit. Well, not even crit, just do that much to him. And that's going to push Serqet back just a bit there. And now you can start to see the difference here. Naja, 3 levels up, and now almost 1,000 gold. Wow.
Yeah, Naja, this is the really scary part when Naja gets ahead right now, because as you mentioned, you said one of the first things you said, Scott, was wait until they get Magi's and beads. Well, you can't afford to get Magi's yet. You need boots, bud. It's the 9th minute of the game, and Naja just wrecking havoc.
Ionic now, he's going to get Madness on Last Breath, dumping so much into him. He's just going to stun him out, and because of that, Soulshiner just gets killed instantly. Booch now, he's going to be stunned. Do they have the follow-up here? Jerby didn't want to fight it as he retreats under his tower. Snoopy now in a boxing match. He's got help. It went from a one-on-one to, oh no, Rising Jaguar. And now he's got the portal there as well. He's not able to make it through. Matty Pocket trying to slow this one down. Lacerate will hit him as well, but the belly flop is on cooldown, and he will make it out.
Visham avoided everything that Ionic gave him. Jeremy dies in the mid lane.
Where the hell did that happen?
I'm going to guess a Spirit Owl through the wall. It was a Neith ult that went ahead and picked him up, production gives us. But one of the cool things, Visham avoided everything that Ionic threw at him. Boosh nails the arrow through the wall to root him, and that spelled curtains. Look at Divios. He knew the exact range, and he's just sitting there, like, not pressing VET, but just taunting.
Yeah. I mean, this is kind of what I think everyone expected in this set.
Sure.
I hate to put it that way, but, I mean, Enemy Esports loses to Eager without Zapman in week 1.
To be fair, Kabam played out of his mind.
Yeah, Kabam was a baller. I hope that guy gets on a good team. Like, I really, really do. But I mean, to say that Enemy Esports would be able to come out and win a game or win this set is just doing a disservice to Team SoloMid.
Sure. Yeah, the favorite coming into this one was definitely Team SoloMid. I thought Enemy Esports, and I still do think Enemy Esports has a chance. They're only 4K down at 11 minutes. That is a decent amount, but I'm not writing them out just yet. It's just Soulshiner is forcing things right now, Gandhi. He's just, we saw that, I think it was most egregious in the middle lane when he tried to take out Ionic. Sure, Ionic's not that tanky just yet. He was level 9, I think, at the time with just Traveler's Boots or Talaria Boots. He was just forcing it a little too much, and I'm afraid that the game's in his head.
Well, Ionic's setting up here. He's at the mid Harpies. He was looking for the blink through the wall and the setup here, but Boosh and Nagars will gladly stick together here as the wall. Ionic will actually wall himself off. Mid tower will fall at 11:20. Divios, he's been in Solo Island, and he loves this. I mean, he's whittling away at this tier 2 tower as now the Gold Fury is just being contested, and Enemy Esports actually has to cater to this, and Soulshiner's going to get plucked on this as well. Madness will hit. They dumped everything into the Gars. Gars will live, though. For the time being, the crits hit through space and time's even better. And now Boosh will jump away. Ionic still going to get hit by the stun, but Snoopy could be in a lot of trouble. This is a great turnaround for Enemy Esports. They kill Snoopy as well. This will be big, and now they have to hit it. Unstable Vortex coming off, and now the Aegis will be good. Snoopy trying to live the portal just off the mark, and he actually goes through his own portal. Snoopy trying to retreat here. He's being chased down by Michael Myers, and he is able to hit it. Jerby putting the team on his back, though.
Yeah, Jeremy with a great play beforehand, being very aggressive and chasing the kill over onto the mid Harpies. Unfortunately, drops a couple of abilities, and now he might fall to Divios. Divios getting very aggressive. He's only 2 levels ahead of Jeremy. Be aware, but Jeremy's got nowhere to go.
Oh my God. Divios, what is that? Why? I think this is him asserting his dominance.
Divios heard what I said in the pregame show about him floundering lately.
Clearly.
And now he's
definitely pissed off at you.
Now he's doing anything but floundering right now, looking absolutely fantastic. On Hades, only 2-0-0, but those 2 kills have been very high impact in this game, and it's been a lot of fun watching it. So, Divios on the upswing.
Here's a big thing here, though. Time spent dead, 90 seconds on the Serqet.
Yeah.
Very early on, I mean, there's such low respawn timers that this is just a recipe for disaster. Look at this. I mean, 3 levels behind, going on 1,500 gold behind as well to the Naja when he doesn't even have Jotun's finished yet.
Yeah,
it's a really, really tough game for the Serqet so far.
It's really rough for the Serqet because she doesn't have much to do when behind. I mean,
no.
Deathbane and Ambush are great get out of jail free cards, but you're not going to impact the fight. And you've got your taunt, you've got the Venom Kiss, but that's it. The ultimate, you're still putting yourself in more harm than you are doing good by pushing them into the wrong spot. And Serqet from behind is very low impact, and Soulshiner has to be very careful.
Ionic sniffed this one out. Neith arrow falls up. Stun's going to hit as well. Following this one up as well. Last breath's going to go on, and Ionic's going to be able to pick that one up. And he is still just... Dude, Ionic's just setting everything up. He's 3-1-5. He's not used to playing a god who actually does a bunch of damage early on. He's used to Sylvanas and Geb.
Yep. And this... I will say that this game plan has to be targeted Up in the air is Gars. It's not going to hurt Matty Pocket too much. He was drunk, but here comes Divios to provide the rest. Gars brought him down to about 60% HP, and Divios cleans it up by himself. And a little bit of help from Snoopy in the waters is also the max. He's all the way from the solo lane, just like Divios, and Snoopy will send him back just like his friend Bacchus. So that's going to leave all 5 up for Team SoloMid.
Whoa, no, they're not.
Ionic even going harder.
Wow. So much aggression from Team SoloMid here. He actually walls off the boost just to troll him a bit. That's always, I think that's what I've learned from the spring finals is that if Team SoloMid's happy, they're gonna win the game.
Okay.
You gotta get in their head somehow. And Maniac was doing that in that series, right? And that's really what we saw a lot of, but online, I mean, it really comes down to just outplaying them. It's very hard to get in Team SoloMid's head, which is why they're so deadly in the SPL.
And I mentioned that they were doing that to Soulshiner a little bit, or I took that educated guess that they were getting in Soulshiner's head. Regardless if they're killing Soulshiner to get in his head or keep him down, they're definitely targeting this Serqet on purpose. We keep mentioning how important it is Serqet is late game, Deathbringer. Well, how do you stop that? You kill her 5 times in 15 minutes, Scott.
Dude, speaking of 5, there's a 5-level disparity between the junglers. Neith is going to come in trying to buy Gars some time, and it will do just that. Jerby even rotated over for the occasion as Snoopy, well, he will sit in his lane and wait to farm up as he has the Aussie done, the Heartseeker's done as well. He's 2-1-6 as the boost is just off the mark here. Okay, so we're starting to see a new deviation here on the builds. The Neith actually going Heartseeker into power boots into chin size. Yeah, you just made a weird face.
I did make a weird face. Chin size, it's far too expensive. The attack speed is too low for this to be a standard go-to item on hunters. In fact, that's that from the outside looking, that's why the change was made to chin size to discourage hunters from really picking it up. Boosh is not playing a traditional hunter role. He's playing in the mid lane, so it's a little bit different. He wants to chunk a little bit more, I guess, like a mage would. But with that said, you don't have a lot of high HP targets on the side of enemy esports. So I have to venture a guess and say this is just a luxury item. There's a lot of gold on this team right now because it's, in my personal opinion, not the most efficient damage dealer that Neith could have gone right now.
Oof. Gars locked him up. Bede's already forced out as well. And now taken to the sky. Soulshiner will fall again. Gars picking him apart. And now it's still going to push forward here. Awesome to the mechs in a lot of trouble. Lurking in the water is popped. Xbalanque will try to save them. And a surrender vote has started again.
Wow. And right there, I'll applaud him after a second because we're barking down the Phoenix right now. Gars getting a couple of basics in. The Hunter's getting basics in onto the Phoenix. Phoenix is about 50% HP. Not able to do it with the first wave of minions, so the second wave will come in. It looks like enemies playing it a little bit safe. They want to keep their distance. Janus going to miss that freeze. Gars played that perfectly. He gets a stun and waits. Because you know the beads are coming. For those that don't know, you can't Naja ult when they have beads active or CC immunity. So he dashes in, he gets the stun, he waits, beads ends, and then he hits him with the ult. You're not going to trick Gars.
And on top of that, now you're going to see the Shield of the Underworld come out of Divios, so he will be channeling his ultimate, and he knows the beads are down. You can just see on your UI right there. I mean, 115 seconds, and Soulshiner now, he's going to try to retaliate with the last breath. He's going to dodge one, but Gars now still managing to stay alive, getting away just in case he dies. He doesn't want the poison to spread. Snoopy all in the backside by himself. He's got a crocodile on his face. The wall will save him from getting CC'd by anyone else. They're able to take out Matty Pocket, and now they will turn to the crocodile, which will be awesome to the max. Down he goes as well. 4 members down for enemy esports. Make that a deicide as Ionic. Is that his 4th or 5th kill? I don't know what it is, but my God, I'm sure he's 5-1-11, bro.
It's Ymir.
Yeah, that is definitely Ymir.
Ymir does a lot of damage, and it's funny. I think that was choreographed. Team SoloMid, everyone but Snoopy got hit by the knockup.
Yeah,
had to have been on purpose.
Maybe. Well, now instead of going back, oh my sweet mother of Mary, look at this. That's 24,000 experience difference at 18 minutes.
Oh, Shiner.
Bro, 24,000, 15,000 experience. This is nuts. This is a lead I don't think I've ever seen. This is worse than Dignitas versus Cog Red at the NA Regionals.
This is a very big lead, and a lot of it just all across the team. Gar's playing very, very well on this Naja. Ionic playing hit out of his mind on this high damage Ymir. I mean, basically, Team SoloMid just came out of the gate swinging, Scott. A lot of damage, a lot of aggression from TSM, and that's the entire story of this fight.
I have no words. This was...
You're supposed to.
It's good. This was bad, man. That was an amazing showing from Team SoloMid, and they're still pushing the issue. I mean, this game completely ended at 20 minutes. Now, granted, we saw the surrender vote kind of come out at 16 minutes, but my God. You fired him up. That was you. You pissed off Team SoloMid.
Well, all I can say is that I give objective hot takes. All right, I give objective hot takes.
You're just trying to piss people off.
And what I can say after this one is that I personally have had a lot of questions about TSM going forward. This sort of period, this slump, if you will, was sort of the only slump they've ever experienced.
Yeah,
they had a lot of success, and that's all they really know. How does a team react after losing a little bit? That's really how I like to ask the question. And well, those past two games that we just watched sort of tell the story. So I think the slump's over for TSM.
Yeah, well, we're going to go ahead and take a look at the first blood here, which was actually Jerby. Now, I will say that, Jerby, I commend you, my friend. He stepped up his game a lot. Maybe the Challenger Cup helped him out, but I mean, the first blood, you can see this. It was an invade gone wrong here by Team SoloMid, and the stun came out from the Ymir, but he wasn't able to get it off in that team fight. He ended up getting body blocked by the Creep as well as another member of enemy Esports, and it was ugly. And so already I was like, okay, this looks good, but didn't happen.
Yeah, just a little bit rough. I liked what I saw out of enemy Esports, just not enough. Team SoloMid looking very strong, very controlling, and that didn't stop with the jungle. They controlled a lot of that as well, taking a top look, 68%, all belonging to the black and white of TSM.
Well, they only controlled 89% of the mid Harpy, so enemy Esports doing a much better job in that game. They adjusted to it.
Hey, they did adjust to the first one.
No, they adjusted to it. It's just very tough to go up against a team like Team SoloMid, for any team with the exception of AFK, because you either fight for the mid Harpies and you win, or you force a good team fighter on the Gold Fury to kind of come back from that. And if you don't have those two things in your kit, you really can't. What do you do?
A little bit rough for enemy Esports. I gotta be honest. I'm not a fan of the surrender, Scott. I hope that is just. I hope that what we see out of the surrender vote on the outside looking in. I've said that a lot today because we're trying to sort of think about what the players are thinking. I hope that they're level-headed and that the F6 wasn't as hot-headed as it seemed from out here, because it's a little rough.
I don't know if that was the case in that. In the game one for sure. The game one I understand.
That's
it's two game set. I mean, you're getting thrashed, get out of there, call it a day, move on to the next game, and try to regroup. But in the second game, the 14, 16-minute surrender, whichever it was, that one, the game was getting kind of out of hand.
Ranked, just have it. Just go ahead and hit it.
Yeah. Well, we do have our player of the game. It's in. It's Dagars.
Playing that Naja.
He's a baller, man. I mean, you can just see 79s, and this is early on, right? He gets going, and he never looks back. And really, again, I mean, enemy Esports had to stay in parity with Team SoloMid in order for this Naja to not just snowball and destroy the lane. And, Gars, you see how many Mjolnir's attunements he hits with Thor. If you think he's not going to hit a sash, well, I don't know what to tell you.
I mean, one of the things that I really liked about this Naja pick for Dagars, the individual, is that with Thor, he likes to be all over the map. He likes to left lane, mid lane, right lane. He likes to travel a lot. Naja, as I mentioned very early in the broadcast, those rings are going to make him move so much faster. And it's a small amount of time, but as you're going to use that ring every time you attack, it's going to speed you up a lot. You notice it when you're playing it. Gars definitely noticed it, and because of that, we saw ganks in all three lanes.
Well, that's going to do it for us here on Thursday. But before we go, we're going to go ahead and take a look at the schedule so we can see all the Smite action that will be coming up live this weekend. It's Memorial Day weekend, so shout out to the vets. But May 23rd, it'll be Epsilon versus London Conspiracy. This is the match you want to watch. Eager versus Denial, also an amazing set Cognitive Gaming versus Cloud9 to round out May 23rd.
And then on Sunday, we'll see Dignitas versus Titan. We'll see the Night Watch take on Fnatic, one of the newer teams coming out of the Challenger Cup, taking on one of the teams from Europe that actually made it to the spring finals. And Legion of Carrots versus AFK Gaming. That's going to be one of the stronger teams, one of the strongest teams coming out of the Challenger Cup. Legion of Carrots going up against the statistically strongest team from North America, AFK, recently winning the spring final LAN and being crowned number 1. So exciting games all across the weekend.
Yep. Well, guys, that's going to do it for our broadcast here. Thank you very much for watching. Keep in mind, we'll be back on Saturday at 1 p.m. Don't miss it.